Welcome back to the channel. You've probably held a handful of silver dimes without a second thought, but one specific date hides a secret that has turned a coin worth a few dollars into a treasure worth thousands, and we're about to show you exactly where to look. First coin. The 1930s Mercury dime is a captivating enigma, a coin struck at the twilight of the Roaring Twenties, its very existence a testament to a nation on the brink of unprecedented economic turmoil. While its mintage figure of roughly 1.84 million might not scream rarity in the absolute sense, the circumstances of its birth and survival have created a fascinating dynamic for collectors, one where condition and a specific, elusive design element dictate its true place in the numismatic pantheon. This isn't a coin that shouts its value from the rooftops. Rather, it whispers a story of economic hardship, meticulous preservation, and the relentless pursuit of perfection by a dedicated cadre of collectors who understand that for this particular issue, the whole is often far less than the sum of its finest parts. Later in our exploration, we will uncover the remarkable sums that truly exceptional, authenticated examples of this coin have commanded, moving far beyond its humble face value, and precisely identify the critical factors that separate a common find from a numismatic treasure. To fully appreciate the 1930s, one must first understand the era that shaped it. The year 1930 saw the world economy beginning its catastrophic slide into the Great Depression, a period of deflation and financial despair that dramatically altered the American landscape. The San Francisco Mint, like its counterparts, saw a sharp reduction in the demand for new coinage as commerce slowed to a crawl. Consequently, a significant portion of the 1,843,000 dimes struck that year were not immediately released into circulation. Instead, they were stored in government vaults, remaining there for several years until the economy showed faint signs of recovery in 1934 and 1935. This unique chain of events had a profound impact on the coin's survival rate. While a low mintage typically suggests scarcity, the prolonged period of storage meant that many of these dimes were preserved from the wear and tear of everyday commerce, leaving a surprisingly large number of mint-state examples for modern collectors to discover. This paradoxical abundance in uncirculated grades is what makes the 1930s Mercury dime such a fascinating study in collector value. While finding this coin in worn, circulated condition is relatively straightforward, its value sees a significant jump as the condition improves, but it is in the highest tiers of the mint state grades that the coin's true rarity and potential for a substantial premium emerge. Grading services like PCGS and NGC have certified a considerable number of pieces up to MS65, making these grades accessible to many collectors. However, the population of coins certified in grades MS66 and above drops off precipitously, and examples reaching the pinnacle of MS67 are genuinely scarce, with a population of only a handful known to exist across the major grading services. This scarcity at the very top of the grading scale is a primary driver of value, where a single point on the Sheldon scale can represent a difference of many thousands of dollars. The composition of the coin itself speaks to a bygone era of American coinage. Struck in a durable alloy of 90% silver and 10% copper, each dime weighs in at 2.5 grams and measures just 17.9 millimeters in diameter, a small canvas upon which a masterpiece of numismatic art is displayed. Its reeded edge, a feature intended to deter the illicit shaving of precious metal, is a tactile reminder of the coin's intrinsic value. The brilliant white luster and delicate silver-gray tones that characterize well-preserved examples are a direct result of its high silver content, and the way light dances across its surface is a key component of its aesthetic appeal, a factor that graders and collectors weigh heavily when determining a coin's final market value. The artistry of the 1930s is a testament to its designer, the legendary Adolf Alexander Weinman, whose other monumental achievement, the Walking Liberty half-dollar, remains one of the most beloved designs in American history. The obverse features a youthful Liberty, her hair crowned with a winged Phrygian cap, an allegorical representation of liberty of thought that has been popularly, though incorrectly, associated with the Roman messenger god Mercury, a name that has stuck for over a century. The reverse, equally evocative, depicts a fasces, an ancient Roman symbol of strength and unity, a bundle of rods bound around an axe, entwined with a robust olive branch symbolizing peace. It is on this reverse that the key to unlocking the coin's highest value often lies, in the precise and complete striking of the horizontal bands that bind the fasces. This detail, known to numismatists as full bands, or FB, is the single most crucial factor in elevating a 1930s Mercury dime from a valuable coin to an exceptional one. The definition of a full bands designation, as determined by the leading grading services, requires that all the horizontal bands on the fasces, the two major central bands and the lower two sets of inner bands, be fully and distinctively split, showing no signs of merging or weakness. For the 1930s, achieving this distinction is notoriously difficult. The strike from the San Francisco Mint was often variable, and many coins, even those in pristine, uncirculated condition, exhibit a weakness in this area. Consequently, a 1930s in MS65 with full bands is exponentially rarer and more coveted than a non-FB coin of the same grade. The premiums for these FB examples are immense, representing the pinnacle of the series for discerning collectors who demand nothing but the best. Even beyond the standard grading, the allure of the 1930s is occasionally heightened by intriguing mint-made anomalies. One such known variety is the repunched mint mark, where the C was struck twice, with the second impression placed slightly east of the first. These subtle imperfections, visible only under close magnification, create a die variety that adds another layer of intrigue for the specialist. When such an error or variety is combined with a high mint state grade and the coveted full bands designation, it becomes the kind of trophy coin that drives passionate bidding at major auctions, shattering conventional price expectations. It is in these rare intersections of condition, strike, and uniqueness that the 1930s Mercury dime achieves legendary status. In conclusion, the 1930s Mercury dime presents a seemingly paradoxical profile, a coin whose low mintage and historical context suggest profound scarcity, yet whose availability in lower uncirculated grades makes it a mainstay of many collections. However, this apparent accessibility is a deceptive veil. The true measure of this coin's value lies in its condition and the mastery of its strike. A specimen in the lower, worn grades might represent a tangible connection to the Great Depression for a modest sum, while a pristine coin in MS65 condition can command a value in the range of $1,500 or more, a testament to its quality and collector demand. Yet it is the elite examples that enter the realm of the truly remarkable. A near-perfect coin, certified at MS66, can see its value climb to several $1,000s, a price that reflects its superior eye appeal and scarcity at that grade level. The Summit, an MS67 example, is a numismatic prize of the highest order. With so few known to exist, and possessing the full bands designation, these coins have sold for well over $10,000, a figure achieved only by a select few examples that represent the absolute finest known survivors, their value a function of their incredible rarity, historical significance, and the relentless demand from collectors who seek to own a piece of perfection in silver. Next coin. Imagine holding a small silver coin, a relic from the final years of the Great Depression, whose very existence as a high-quality collectible is a study in paradox. The 1937 Mercury dime, with a mintage of nearly 10 million pieces, might seem like a common date, easily found and easily dismissed. But within the world of numismatics, this coin is a masterclass in the importance of strike, condition, and the relentless pursuit of a single, elusive design detail. Its story is not one of absolute scarcity, but of conditional rarity, where the difference between a $10 coin and a five-figure treasure is determined by the sharpness of a few delicate lines on its reverse. As we delve deeper into its history and the relentless market that surrounds it, we will discover exactly what separates a worn, circulated example from a numismatic trophy, and what those exceptional pieces have commanded in the unforgiving arena of auction houses. To understand the 1937S, one must first appreciate the context of its creation. The coin was struck at the San Francisco Mint, a facility that had long been the workhorse for coinage destined for the Western states and international trade. By 1937, the nation was slowly clawing its way out of the economic abyss of the Depression, and the demand for coinage had stabilized, leading to a robust mintage of 9,740,000 pieces. The economic anxieties of the early 1930s had subsided somewhat, and people were less inclined to hoard every coin they received, a behavior that had preserved many of the lower mintage 1930 and 1931 issues in pristine condition. This dynamic immediately sets the stage for the 1937S. It was struck in large enough numbers to be readily available, yet its survival in the highest, most desirable grades would prove to be a formidable challenge for collectors. Like all Mercury dimes, the 1937S is a work of art by Adolf Alexander Weinman, whose design is considered one of the most beautiful in American coinage history. Its composition is a classic alloy of 90% silver and 10% copper, weighing 2.5 grams and measuring 17.9 millimeters in diameter, with a reeded edge to deter clipping of the precious metal. The obverse features a youthful Liberty, her hair adorned with a winged Phrygian cap, a symbol of freedom that led to the coin's popular misnomer, the Mercury dime, named for the Roman messenger god. The reverse is where the true drama of the 1937S unfolds, depicting a fasces, an ancient Roman symbol of strength and unity, bound with an olive branch of peace. It is the intricate horizontal bands that wrap the central fasces, which hold the key to this coin's immense collector value. Single most important factor that separates an ordinary 1937S Mercury dime from a truly exceptional one is the full bands, or FB designation. This characteristic refers to the clarity and completeness of the strike on the horizontal bands of the fasces on the reverse. For a coin to receive this distinction from grading services like PCGS or NGC, all of the major horizontal lines must be fully split and distinct from top to bottom. For the 1937S, achieving this is notoriously difficult. The strike quality from the San Francisco Mint was often inconsistent, and many coins, even those in otherwise pristine uncirculated condition, exhibit a weakness in this exact area. Therefore, while a non-FB coin in high grade might be fairly common, the FB examples are exponentially rarer, making them the target of every serious collector building a high-quality set. The collector market and surviving populations reflect this stark reality. A circulated 1937S Mercury dime showing signs of wear is a modestly priced piece, with values falling in the range of a few dollars, a small premium over its intrinsic silver melt value. Even an uncertified, raw, uncirculated coin, typically grading in the MS60 to MS63 range without the full bands designation, can be acquired for between $100 and a few $100s. However, as the grade climbs, the value begins to accelerate, especially for those fortunate examples that exhibit both pristine surfaces and a sharp, complete strike. The true power of the 1937S Mercury dime becomes fully evident when you examine its certified populations. At the MS65 level with full bands, the population is surprisingly low, with only 99 coins certified by one major service and 732 graded higher, indicating just how scarce this combination truly is. A coin in this elite grade is a significant numismatic prize, representing a major investment in the series. As you climb the grading scale to the near-perfect levels of MS67 and MS68 with full bands, the coin enters an even rarefied realm. While exact prices fluctuate, an MS67 FB example is a coin that commands a strong premium, representing an investment of several $1,000s, a testament to its extreme rarity and the intense demand from top-tier collectors. The increase from MS65 to MS67 can represent a tenfold jump in value, demonstrating that when it comes to the 1937S, condition is truly king. Adding another layer of intrigue is the existence of a minor double die variety for the 1937S, known as FS101. This variety, a subtle yet collectible error where the design elements appear duplicated, has gained prominence and is listed in the Cherry Picker's Guide, a Bible for error and variety collectors. When a coin possessing this die variety also achieves the full bands designation in a high mint state grade, it transcends the realm of a typical collectible and becomes a specialized trophy, often commanding significant premiums over a non-variety coin of the same grade. It is in these unique intersections of condition, strike, and error that the 1937 S can reach its full potential. In the end, the 1937 S Mercury dime teaches a fundamental lesson in numismatics. Rarity is not just about mintage numbers, it's about supply and demand in the highest grades. While millions were struck, the number that satisfy the stringent standards for full bands in top condition is astonishingly small. An MS-64 full bands example, for instance, is considered a highly collectible addition to any advanced collection. Yet, as we have seen, the coin's true value is unlocked by the condition of its strike. A stunning, gem-quality MS-67 full bands coin is a masterpiece, a coin whose auction history has proven its worth to the most discerning collectors. It represents the pinnacle of achievement for a coin that on its face appeared common, serving as a powerful reminder that in the world of rare coins, the most important detail is often the smallest one. Next coin. The 1941 S Mercury dime presents one of the most intriguing paradoxes in all of American numismatics. On the surface, it appears to be a common coin, struck to the tune of over 43 million pieces at the San Francisco Mint, a figure that suggests it should be readily available to any collector. Yet, within the numismatic community, a select few of these dimes command extraordinary attention and are valued far beyond their humble silver content. The secret to their desirability doesn't lie in the number minted, but in a singular, elusive detail that most people would never notice. As we examine this coin together, we'll uncover the fascinating reasons why a 1941 S can range from a pocket change relic to a five-figure prize, revealing exactly what separates an ordinary dime from a legendary collectible. To fully appreciate the 1941 S, we must first understand its historical context. The year 1941 was a pivotal moment for the United States. The nation was emerging from the Great Depression, and economic activity was surging, fueled by the demand for war materials from Europe. This economic boom is reflected in the San Francisco Mint's output, which more than doubled its 1940 production of dimes. The mint was operating at full capacity to meet the needs of commerce. The coin itself, composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, weighs 2.5 grams and measures 17.9 millimeters in diameter, with a reeded edge designed to prevent the clipping of precious metal. It's a standard, utilitarian piece of silver currency, yet its striking is anything but standard. The key to the coin's collector value lies on the reverse, in the fasces, the ancient Roman symbol of strength and unity. Wrapped around this bundle of rods are horizontal bands that have become the most important diagnostic for a high-value 1941 S for a coin to earn the coveted full bands designation from grading services like PCGS or NGC. These central horizontal bands must be fully and distinctly split from top to bottom. It's a test of the strike's sharpness. A complete strike on the 1941 S's central devices is difficult to achieve due to the inherent properties of the design and the metal flow during the minting process. While a standard 1941 S dime is common, a full bands example is significantly scarcer, forming a minority of the overall survivorship. This distinction is the primary driver of value, as discerning collectors hunt for coins that perfectly preserve every detail of Weinmann's design. The die variety of the mint mark adds another layer of fascination for the specialist. The 1941 S is known for two distinct mint mark styles, the usual smalls that was standard from 1917 to 1940, and a new, larger S that debuted this year. This new S is popularly called the trumpet tail due to its broad lower serif that flares out like the bell of a trumpet. While circulated examples of either mint mark are not rare, mint state examples, particularly of the trumpet tail variety, are scarce enough to command a premium. Adding to the complexity, Several repunched mint mark varieties are known, where the was struck over a previous that was slightly misaligned. These RPMs, especially when combined with a full band strike, become the apex of the series for error and variety collectors. Now let's put a collector's hat on and inspect what we would look for in one of these coins. First, we examine the date and mint mark, ensuring the C is clearly defined and matches the expected variety. Next, we scrutinize the strike quality, focusing intently on the reverse bands. The surfaces are then evaluated for any marks, scratches, or wear. We look for original mint luster, a cartwheel effect that indicates the coin has not been cleaned or damaged. For the 1941s, the color is also a factor. Original, untoned white coins are highly prized, but some collectors also seek out coins with beautiful natural toning that has developed over decades. The overall eye appeal, how the coin presents at first glance, is the final summation of all these factors. The differences in value are stark. A worn, circulated 1941 dime can often be acquired for its silver melt value, perhaps between $6 and $9. Even an uncirculated, but non-full bands, example in a grade like MS-65, might trade in the range of a few $100s. However, once the coin achieves the full bands designation, its value multiplies significantly. An MS-65 full bands coin, with its sharp strike and pristine surfaces, will sell for a figure in the range of several $1,000s, reflecting the intense demand from collectors who specialize in the Mercury dime series. The population reports from NGC and PCGS show that while thousands of examples have been graded, the number certified as full bands in the highest grades is a much smaller subset. The true stratospheric values are reserved for the finest known examples. A coin graded MS-67 full bands with the coveted trumpet tail mint mark is a true numismatic trophy, but the pinnacle, the absolute zenith of the 1941s, is the MS-68 full bands coin. These are the registry-grade examples, coins with virtually flawless preservation and outstanding central strike sharpness that are considered the finest in existence. One such example, a PCGS MS-68 full bands with a beautiful, dramatic rainbow toning of peach gold and jade green, realized a sale price of nearly $7,000 at auction, a testament to its incredible rarity and eye appeal. This is the benchmark that shows a coin, despite its high mintage, can become a condition rarity of the highest order. Next coin. At first glance, the 1944 Mercury dime appears to be just another common piece of pocket change from the World War II era, a coin struck in staggering numbers that seemed destined for utter obscurity. But in the world of high-end numismatics, this coin is a masterclass in the principle that rarity is not always about mintage, but about quality, condition, and the pursuit of a perfect, elusive strike. While hundreds of millions of these dimes were melted down, lost, or worn away in daily commerce, a select few have survived in a state of near-perfect preservation, transforming an otherwise common date into a coveted prize for collectors who know exactly what to look for. As we examine this iconic silver issue together, we will uncover why a 1944 dime can be worth its weight in silver, or in its finest forms, enough to fund a substantial addition to any serious collection. To understand the significance of the 1944 Mercury dime, we must first place it in its proper historical context. The year 1944 marked the height of American involvement in the Second World War, a time when the economy was operating at full capacity and the mints in Philadelphia and Denver were striking coinage at a frenetic pace. The Philadelphia Mint alone produced a staggering 231,410,000 dimes, the highest single-year mintage for the entire Mercury dime series. This immense production was necessary to meet the demands of a wartime economy, but it also meant that quality control was often secondary to quantity. Consequently, the vast majority of these coins was struck with a less-than-perfect impression, lacking the sharp, crisp details that modern collectors demand. The 1944 issue, struck in 90% silver and 10% copper with a reeded edge, became the workhorse of commerce, and its survival in high grades was anything but guaranteed. The key to unlocking the true value of the 1944 Mercury dime lies on its reverse, in a tiny detail that most people have never noticed. The design, created by the legendary sculptor Adolf Alexander Weinman, features a fasces, an ancient Roman symbol of strength and unity, bound together by horizontal leather bands. For a coin to achieve the coveted full bands or FB designation from leading grading services like NGC or PCGS, these horizontal bands on the fasces must be fully split and distinctly visible from top to bottom. This is a stringent test of the strike, and for the 1944 issue, achieving this designation is exceptionally difficult. The very nature of the design, combined with the high-speed striking of the Philadelphia and Denver mints, meant that many coins were struck with a weakness in this exact area. This makes the full bands examples disproportionately rare, and it is this detail that separates a coin worth a few $100s from one valued in the thousands. It is important to understand that the value spectrum for the 1944 Mercury dime is incredibly broad. A worn, circulated example that has been pulled from a coin dealer's junk box is typically valued based on its silver content, often trading for just a few dollars above its bullion value. An uncirculated example without the full band's designation, perhaps grading in the MS-60 to MS-63 range, can sell for up to around $400. However, the moment a coin is certified with the full band's designation, its value multiplies significantly. A pristine, gem-quality example from the Philadelphia Mint, graded MS-67 full bands, for instance, can command prices that far exceed the value of a non-FB coin, often reaching into the low to mid-hundreds of dollars. The presence of this designation signals to collectors that the coin possesses an exceptional strike, and their willingness to pay a premium for it reflects the intense competition for these condition rarities. For those seeking the ultimate prize, the 1944 Mercury dime from the Philadelphia Mint becomes a true treasure. Consider the example certified by NGC as MS-68 full bands. With a population of only 8 known coins and just one graded higher, this is a coin of extraordinary rarity. These are the specimens that auction houses and elite collectors pursue, often leading to bidding wars that push the final price far beyond the expected range. The intense demand for these registry coins, sought by collectors building high-quality sets, means that the finest examples are not simply collectibles. They are investments that have consistently appreciated over time. This market dynamic creates a fascinating interplay between supply and demand that drives the value of the 1944 issue. Story of the 1944 D Mercury dime, struck at the Denver Mint, with a mintage of over 62 million pieces, is a parallel narrative of high availability and conditional scarcity. While the coin is plentiful in low grades, finding a specimen with the full band's designation is a far more challenging task. According to grading service population reports, a coin in MS-67 full bands is a highly desirable piece, one that represents the pinnacle of the grade. A PCGS-certified MS-66 full bands with a coveted CAC gold approval, for example, is the kind of coin that drives serious collectors to place aggressive bids, with active auctions often seeing prices climb into the mid-hundreds of dollars or more. The pursuit of these high-quality Denver Mint examples underscores a key numismatic principle. It is not the date or mint mark alone that creates value, but the combination of a scarce condition and a perfect strike. The appeal of the 1944 Mercury dime, whether from the Philadelphia or Denver Mint, is therefore a lesson in the power of conditional rarity. The coin teaches us that the true value of a collectible often lies in the tiniest details, details that require a knowledgeable eye and a deep appreciation for the intricacies of the minting process. The journey from a common, worn-out coin to a certified full bands treasure is a journey of discovery, one that transforms a humble dime into a tangible piece of history that has survived against all odds. Whether you are a seasoned specialist or a new collector, the 1944 Mercury dime offers a compelling case study in how rarity, condition, and market demand combine to create lasting value. This is the coin that proves even amidst the millions, perfection can be found, and for those who seek it, the reward is substantial.